Mark had a busy day ahead. His boss had asked him to go through the financial reports before the big meeting. He sat at his desk, ready to go through every detail carefully. Before starting, he decided to go through his emails first. There were dozens of unread messages, and he needed to go through them quickly. After that, he could finally go through the numbers without distractions. As he opened the first report, he realized he had to go through hundreds of pages. He sighed but knew there was no other way. If he didn't go through the data thoroughly, he might miss something important. Halfway through, he found an error. Good thing I decided to go through this carefully, he thought. He marked the mistake and continued to go through the rest of the document. At lunch, his colleague Sarah joined him. "Still going through the reports?" she asked. "Yeah, I have to go through everything before tomorrow." "I get it. I still need to go through my presentation slides." After lunch, Mark returned to his desk. He had already gone through most of the reports, but a few remained. He forced himself to stay focused and go through them with the same level of attention. Later that evening, he went home feeling exhausted. He wanted to relax, but he had to go through his personal finances too. Bills had piled up, and he needed to go through his budget. As he reviewed his expenses, he thought, "I really need to go through my spending habits more often." Before bed, he decided to go through his notes one last time. He wanted to be fully prepared for the meeting. The next morning, his boss asked, "Did you go through the reports?" "Yes, and I found a few issues. I went through them carefully and made corrections." His boss smiled. "Great job. It's always good to go through everything with a sharp eye." Mark felt relieved. All his effort had paid off, and he had successfully gone through everything he needed to. But his work wasn't done yet. After the meeting, his boss handed him another set of documents. "I need you to go through these by the end of the day." Mark nodded. "I'll go through them right away." As he started, he noticed a few familiar patterns. "I've gone through similar reports before, but I still need to go through each detail carefully," he thought. Time passed and he realized he was getting faster. "The more I go through these, the better I get at spotting mistakes." By mid-afternoon, he took a short break. He decided to go through his messages and saw a text from Sarah. "How's the report going?" "I just went through my slides and they're finally done," Mark replied. "Still going through mine." "Almost there." After finishing the documents, he went through them once more to double-check. He didn't want to miss anything important. Satisfied, he submitted the report. His boss looked through it and nodded. "You did a great job. I appreciate how thoroughly you go through everything." "Thanks. I always make sure to go through things properly," Mark replied. On his way home, he thought about his personal tasks. He still needed to go through his closet and get rid of old clothes. He also had to go through his bookshelf and organize everything. That weekend, he set aside time to go through all his belongings. He went through his clothes first, sorting them into piles. "I haven't gone through these in years," he thought. Next, he went through his bookshelf. As he went through each title, he found books he had forgotten about. "I should go through my reading list and finish these." By the end of the day, his space felt much more organized. It feels good to go through everything and declutter. Before bed, he decided to go through his plans for the next week. He had meetings, deadlines, and personal projects. "If I go through everything now, I'll be more prepared." As he lay down, he realized how much of his life involved going through things: reports, emails, belongings, plans. "At least I know how to go through things efficiently now," he thought with a smile. Want to learn English but don't know where to start? Join our English learning community. We explain difficult topics in simple terms. Practice speaking English without fear of mistakes. Support, motivation, and communication with like-minded people. Start speaking English today. Subscribe and learn with us.